sound like my pugs. Hi, sisters! Welcome back to another video. My name is 𝓩𝓪𝓬𝓱 𝓢𝓽𝓾𝓽𝓼𝓶𝓪𝓷, and today we are going to be talking about how to completely shift your reality by using just your self concept, okay? Within manifestation, I think that there is a lot of content out there being like how to manifest a partner, how to manifest the dream job, how to manifest your dream body, how to manifest just all these external things. And I am going to be the biggest advocate and preacher in the fact that you do not need to actually manifest a single thing externally. In fact, if we really go deep into spirituality and manifestation, especially using the law of assumption, nothing is actually outside of you. You are the source. You are reality. You are the universe, okay? Everything that you experience is all coming from up here because nothing is actually outside of you. So why are we focusing on manifesting this intangible boyfriend when in reality it's all just actually happening up here? I mean, like, this sounds really complicated and this is going very esoteric really fast into this video. But firstly, to start off this video, you do not need to manifest anything externally. You don't need to manifest that dream partner. You don't need to manifest that dream body. You don't need to manifest the money coming in. You only need to manifest yourself and your self-concept because your self-concept dictates your entire reality. If you master the perception that you have on yourself, you master what is going on up here in regards to you, you can easily manifest anything outside of you. You don't need to manifest a partner coming into your life. You need to manifest you being the most lovable, worthy, powerful, confident, baddest version of yourself that naturally has the dream partner. Because if you are the person that radiates all the way up here, is so powerful, is so happy, is so successful in life, and feels so grateful to just be alive, then you will naturally begin to manifest a partner as well that is on that same vibration and frequency. Because here's the thing, if you are focused so much on manifesting a perfect partner that matches all of your dreams and desires and is all the way up here, you need to start looking at yourself and realizing, okay, but are you the type of person that is also at that vibe? Are you the type of person where if you manifested the most unconditionally supportive and loving and happy partner, would you self-sabotage that? Would you accidentally be the reason that that actually ends? Would your insecurities come out and trigger you every moment that you're around this person because they remind you of what you are not yet? This is why self-concept is so important, because there needs to be no question when this experience comes into your life of whether or not you are even deserving of it, of whether or not it is natural for you to have and experience these types of things, okay? Because as well, if you are trying to manifest money and you have told yourself your entire life that you are broke, that you have bad problems financially, that you cannot hold on to money, that you struggle with budgeting, and that you are constantly just this rampant shopper every time Black Friday comes and you spend $14,000, there's no physical way that you are going to sustainably manifest this money into your life, okay? Because I also do believe that you could manifest these things, you could manifest that partner, you could manifest the money, but would you sustainably keep it? And that is the question that we need to be asking ourselves today. When it comes to your self-concept, you don't actually even need to manifest these other things outside of yourself, because by using your self-concept, you can manifest that you are the person who already has the best dream partner. That is self-concept. That is not outside of you, okay? So, anyways, let's begin. One of the first and most powerful things that I think you guys need to realize here is that you need to be able to change your perspective on any and everything in your reality, okay? Nothing is set in stone. Everyone on this planet views everything in a different light, has a different perspective on anything. You could say the color beige and someone would sit there and be like, wow, I love beige. Beige is so comfortable. I love it. It's so cozy. And someone else would look at that damn color and be like, ew, that's like the white mom stereotype and it's just so grody and I just like, it's so basic and simple and boring. When you think of yourself, every single person in your reality has a different perspective on you. The way that your mom thinks about you is completely different than the way your best friend thinks about you. Same thing with your teacher, same thing with your boss, same thing with any other person on this planet. Nothing is set in stone. Even science is based off of probability and statistics rather than absolutes and facts, okay? This means that you do not need to take into account anyone else's perspective on anything in reality. You get to decide how you want to forge your own path, forge your own perspective on certain things. I have always been the person where whenever anyone talks about responsibility, whether it's owning your own place, whether it's having your own job, whether it's owning a dog or anything else, I never looked at that as work. I never looked at that as, oh my gosh, it's gonna be so draining and so hard and I have to do this and like the laundry and the trash and oh my God. I looked at that as, wow, I have freedom. Wow, I have independence. Wow, I get to control my own space, dictate the energy, the aesthetic that I get to live in on a daily basis. And that is fucking amazing. That is beautiful. Same thing with your body. You do not need to look at the way that society looks at being overweight, looks at being anything as not beautiful. beautiful because you are still a body operating on this planet Earth, breathing, living your best life. The amount of systems that are working in your body on a daily basis is literally crazy. It is so beautiful and amazing even to just look at it in that way. Same thing with relationships ending. You do not have to look at that as, wow, they broke my heart. Wow, I'm so depressed. Wow, I'm so alone. Wow, oh my God, I can't believe I wasted all that time. You could look at that as, I'm so grateful that I got to love. I missed this experience and that proves how much I loved what I had. And that is beautiful. The fact that we even get to love on this planet is amazing, okay? So you do not have to view anything the same way that anyone else views anything in this reality, okay? And it sounds super esoteric and it sounds really crazy, but the reason that I'm saying that is because self-concept and the way manifestation works is through challenging your beliefs into being somewhat delusional and then taking the actionable steps to carve that path for yourself, okay? One of the best ways that you can level up your self-concept in this reality is by focusing on perspective shifts. Focus on reinforcing the reality that you want to live because, honey, nothing is A plus B equals C. You get to decide everything in your reality. You get to decide what your past means to you. You get to decide what certain experiences can offer you. You get to decide whether or not when you think of a certain person in your past, whether or not that feeling is grief and heartbreak and pain and all the things that they did to you, or you get to look at the memories and all the beautiful experiences and the gratitude just because you got to experience that in your life, okay? For a very short story to reinforce this experience, I was dating this person for probably about 3.5 weeks and we had gotten super close and I actually really loved the experience, but then it got to the point where basically we found out that one of our core values and just who we were as people in our characters were not lined up. They were not compatible long-term. And this was a really difficult experience because then we both knew that this probably wasn't going to work out and that no matter how much fun that we were having, this wasn't going to be something that was sustainable long-term because this is not just a preference, guys. Like these were core values of who we were, okay? Now because of this, things ended. And originally when it first ended, I started to look at it as, wow, I wasted all that time. Wow, I regret this experience. Wow, I can't believe I just put myself in this person through heartbreak. Wow, I can't believe, you know, all these horrible, painful feelings and thoughts. And then I talked about it with one of my friends, and this is why I freaking love my friends, guys, because she reminded me the fact that, wow, but how beautiful it was that you got to experience that. How beautiful it was that you got to know this person on such a deep level and take that risk, knowing that the potential of heartbreak was there, but still moving forward and choosing to open yourself up and be vulnerable. That is beautiful in itself. The fact that you had the willpower to decide to quit this thing, even though it was amazing and was going so well for you, like, God, the willpower, the self-respect, the determination for knowing that there's a life out there where you have exactly what you want and not settling for anything else. That is beautiful. That is something to look at yourself and damn smile and applaud yourself for, okay? And immediately after that conversation, obviously I was still sad, but there was this level of gratitude lining that entire experience that made the pain a lot less. That made me look at that experience and just smile and look back on the photos and not want to cry, but to just be happy and grateful for that experience that we got to have together, okay? So now let's get into the actual nitty-gritty, okay? To create the desired version of yourself, you have to think of yourself like a video game character. You have to think of yourself like an avatar that you get to customize and completely design every single little niche-y thing about you. You are not a character that has been pre-written and predetermined to be a certain way, okay? The phrase, oh, it's just who I am, pisses me off, guys. Pisses me off. It also just limits yourself and it gives your power away to some external esoteric source of your destiny, of fate, in the sense that you don't get to actually decide and create anything of how you are and how you're going to be moving forward. Like, come on now, that's a little depressing if you ask me. Anyway, create a version of yourself, whether this is an alter ego, whether this is just your dream, highest desired self that you can always come back to. There is always going to be moments in your life where you are having a rut, where you are depressed, where nothing is working out, where you are just getting smacked across the face, left, right, and down, and it is just painful and it is depressing and you are just like going through hell. However, having this desired version of yourself that you have created allows yourself to have a baseline that you know you will always come back to. I have countless off days. I have days where I am sobbing. I have days where I look ratchet as hell. I have days where I wake up and I just don't even want to get out of bed, where I don't want to film a video, where I don't want to go to work, where I don't want to go to the gym, where I don't want to do a lot of things, okay, guys? But yet I think about myself and I go back to this version of myself that I know I am to be, where I am radiant, I am happy, I am confident, I'm living my best life. I am the definition of the sun, of the version of myself that I wake up and I am so grateful that I even get to be on this reality, okay? I think of that version and it reminds me of who I am. And the thing is that if you have not stepped into this version a lot, then it is going to be difficult for you to at first. But that is going into my second point. Building belief in your character and who you are is a skill. Just like going to the gym, you have to build up a certain amount of reps. You have to do something enough times to start to actually see the gains and the progress from your efforts. Building your self-concept and your character is exactly like that. It is a skill. It is something that you get better at over time. And just like a skill, just like gains in the gym, it is not just going to be this linear freaking climb as if everything in life was that easy. You are going to have off days. You are going to have days where you are going down, where life is not that great, where you are stagnant, where you're hitting kind of a plateau. But just like building any type of success, any happiness in your life, it is more about the consistency and the sustainability of what you are doing rather than how hard you are pushing for the past like 2 weeks. You could be affirming in the mirror. You could be doing subliminals every single night and quantum meditations every single day that you're waking up for 3 weeks, and then you give up on it and you never dabble into any of that again, and you're going to relapse and fall right back into who you were. It is better to be slow, to be soft, to be consistent at what you want to do with your self-concept and build your character up day by day until that just becomes naturally who you are, to where you don't even have to do it anymore and it's just on autopilot, than trying to be this hyper hustle culture, oh my god, let's sprint for 30 minutes and do a whole marathon and blah 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 blah, and then give up and burn out and never touch that again. Who wants that? Who wants that? That is embarrassing, babe. So focus on being consistent, focus on working on your self-concept and building this version of yourself that you want to be, that you want to come back to at the end of the day, and focus on stepping into that version of yourself more consistently until it just becomes who you naturally are. Okay. Now, one of the things that I noticed for a very long time that was holding my self-concept back was the fear of what other people, especially my family and my close friends, would think about me if I were to completely change my character. Because here's the thing, we oftentimes identify ourselves and who we are based on the things and the people that surround us. Our environment at the end of the day does create who we are on the inside, okay? You cannot be afraid of what others are thinking about you, especially while evolving, especially while trying to step into the highest version of yourself. Because just as I said, everyone in reality will have a different perspective of you. Everyone will look at you in a different light. And for a lot of people, you completely trying to change something that you have been known as for years, maybe it's you are the insecure friend, maybe it's you are the introvert, and you start to naturally try to change that, you are going to be weeding a lot of people out, and you're going to be seeing exactly how these people think about you. And you cannot be afraid of that. You cannot be afraid of what these people will end up thinking and saying to your face, because trust me, guys, sometimes it's interesting. Sometimes it is really out there, okay? Now, my very second and last thing, because this video is getting a little bit longer than what I would like to edit, is shifting your self-concept includes questioning every single thing about you, because nothing about your character is set in stone. Just like I said at the very beginning of this video, you have to have this open flow of energy and not deal in absolutes when it comes to you. You do not have to identify as the insecure friend anymore. You do not have to identify with laziness or procrastination. You do not have to identify as being lost, as being stuck in the same place that you have been stuck in for years. These are all choices to identify as, and it is hard because a lot of times when you are going through something, when you are processing a certain experience, you can't just sit there and be like, yeah, no, like this isn't it, guys. I am super happy and successful. Like when you are literally rotting in your bed on a daily basis. However, just like you know that you will eventually climb out of that, you need to know and have the flexibility that you will and can rise and evolve into the version of yourself that you want to be. And if you are labeling yourself and identifying with yourself in this present moment with something that is not actually serving you, whether that is, oh, I have a bad relationship with food, whether this is labeling yourself with a certain experience that is actually taking away your power from you, you do not have to identify with that anymore, okay? It does not matter what has happened. It matters what you choose to do with what you know now. While I wouldn't really recommend it, just for the sake of inspiration, you can theoretically erase your entire past if you wanted to. You could move to frickin' Canada, Saskatchewan. We're moving to Saskatchewan. You can start completely fresh if you wanted to. Now, while I would not really recommend that, because obviously like we can't all be 𝓩𝓪𝓬𝓱 𝓢𝓽𝓾 and move to Saskatchewan, you can take the notion that nothing in your past has to stay the same. Nothing in your past you still have to identify with. You can take what was good, take the lessons, take the beautiful memories and the experiences, and start completely crafting the life that you want to live as on a daily basis. We as humans have this beautiful thing going on up in here in our brain called neuroplasticity, and that allows us to reprogram ourselves, reprogram the neural pathways in our brains, and create new pathways that align with the thinking and the beliefs and the actionable steps on a daily basis that actually align with what we want to have and create. And isn't that just beautiful? Isn't that beautiful that we don't have to stay the same? Isn't that beautiful that the past does not have to define every single waking moment of our reality? It doesn't matter what you've been doing for the past 7 years. If you decide today to stop and you stay consistent with that, then it literally doesn't matter. It isn't true for you anymore. And isn't that amazing? Isn't that literally like, wow, 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 wow. Don't we just love life? So very lastly, guys, the piece of advice that I just want to give to you is focus on yourself, and all of your manifestations will come. If you focus on leveling up your character, focus on evolving your way of thinking, focus on shifting your perspectives on yourself into, oh, I'm so disciplined, oh, I'm so worthy, oh, I'm so beautiful, oh, I'm so loved, you will naturally begin to manifest and attract the opportunities, the people, the experiences that you are trying so hard to script every single day and manifest in your little journal on autopilot. And the beautiful thing is that you wouldn't even be trying at that point. You would just be waking up and these things are naturally knocking on your door. And isn't that amazing? Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that the soft life that we all want to be living secretly, where it's like we don't actually have to do anything and all these beautiful things just come into our reality? Like, I mean, I'm not saying be lazy, but come on now, like, ugh. Who wouldn't want that? Evolve yourself so much to which your manifestations are practically inevitable and they are therefore normalized. And then come back to this video in 6 months to a year from now and thank me in the comments below, okay? All right, guys, that is going to be the end of this video today. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this one. I love making videos on self-concept. In fact, like, I think I'm just gonna start an entire playlist at this point of them because they're just fun. And like I said at the beginning of this video, they are all that you really need to manifest everything that you want in your life. Okay, guys? If you start focusing on your self-concept, watch how every other thing that you are trying to manifest in the background will naturally just slide into your life like it's nothing, okay? Like it's a little butter being melted on a little pan. It'll just be like, wee! I hope that you guys have a beautiful day and an even better life. And I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did not find it educational, I at least hope you found it entertaining. And I hope, as always, that you guys are just living your best lives, okay? Just keep rising, keep grinding for the life we want. Keep manifesting, actually. Anyways, guys, have a great rest of your day and an even better life. And I will see you all in the next video.